Health this morning, swelling and soreness after a workout. They're common complaints, but they could also be warning signs.
Joining us now is Dr. Miho Tanaka, Director of Women's Sports Medicine Program at the Mass General Brigham. Good morning.
Morning.
We have all heard it, no pain, no gain, but do you really think that's true? And, when are you in trouble?
Yeah, so that is a hard question to answer because scientifically speaking, it is true. In order to build up muscle, you actually have to break down the muscle with the workout process before you can build it up. What happens is that while you're lifting weights, while you're doing your workout, you're putting stress on the muscles, you're putting tension, you're building up some inflammation and even causing some micro damage to the muscle fibers, which can be a little bit painful, but that's actually the process that triggers the muscle to then build up and give you some of those gains. That being said, the majority of people who end up getting injured while they're working out really just take that a little bit too far. And so I think the point is that pain is not necessarily a good thing while you're working out. And even though it's tough to differentiate between what's good pain and what can be dangerous, I think just being aware of that fact is really important for people to not push themselves too far to the point of injury.
How long should that inflammation last, or how long could it last?
Yeah, so normal inflammation kind of has two stages. One is what happens during that workout, that last set when you're pushing really hard, you feel the burn in your muscles, and that's typically going to go away right when you stop, or maybe an hour or two afterwards, but not much longer than that. There's also something called delayed onset soreness, and that typically happens at least a day after you stop the workout, and it really peaks around 2 to 3 days, can be really, really painful, but almost always goes away on its own without any treatment within 5 days or so. Now you can use ice and you can use anti-inflammatories to help treat it, but really the best thing is to avoid going to that critical point so that you don't push yourself to the point of having so much soreness afterwards.
Okay, I think like have your hard day and then maybe a light day or something like that, but when do you really worry, like I need to stop?
Right, yeah. So I think there's two things to look for. One is when you're concerned about the muscle itself, if it's really, really sore, if you start to see really funny signs like a lot of swelling, some bruising at that site, or even pain at the muscle site that lasts more than a week with some rest and with some treatment, that would probably be a sign to get that checked out. And then the other thing is less common, and it's more of a systemic issue. But basically, when your muscles are breaking down during your workout, they release some byproducts into your bloodstream that then gets cleared by the kidneys. And so if there's a lot of muscle breakdown that happens right at that same time, then you can actually overload your kidneys, and then that can be a really serious problem. And when that happens, people will have a lot of soreness, like really severe soreness, a lot of weakness in their muscles, and they may even find that their urine becomes kind of this brownish color, indicating that you're having some kidney damage. So if somebody has those 3 signs after having a really hard workout, maybe like the biggest workout of their lives, that's definitely something that should get checked out sooner rather than later.
Okay, good to be aware of the warning signs. Dr. Miho Tanaka, so nice to see you. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Appreciate it. Hope to see you soon. All right, at 8:20, plus all eyes glued to the Yankee Stadium baseball field. Not for the game, though.
Oh no, a furry invader stole the show. But first, 5 things